Day one of Advent. I said I wasn't doing a morning check-in, but then I realized I had to vent about something. Welcome to Gabzvents. This is my Advent Vlogmas alike chat thing, where I show two things: my Advents and I vent about things. Some will be knitting related, some will be life related. Do want you to know that if you're looking for the peppy, happy Christmas content, my sister is also doing that on our channel, so you can check out her Vlogmas for a very traditional style Vlogmas. This is my disclaimer that while I am venting, I am not everything is awful, right? This is just the premise of what this is. All right, so first vent of Gabzvents. Pattern testing. I know. I already talked to my sister about this last night. I was like, I got lots to vent about, but I'm trying to not get us canceled either. So, this is tempered. And Chaley says that I'm not so much of a Scrooge about Christmas, that I'm more of the Grinch, which I think is true. Because I'm not like ungenerous with giving gifts and stuff and like miserly. I'm just like, I'm not doing this Christmas thing most of the time. Or I'm like, okay, decorated my tree. That's good. That's enough Christmas for us. All right, so pattern testing. I test patterns a lot. Here is a big thing that frustrates me. And this is no shade on any single designer or anything like that. This isn't a name and shame. Oh my gosh. Okay. My neighbor's fence has completely fallen down and covered the sidewalk. And they have, I know they have pets, but there's no pets in the yard. See, that's the fence falling down. Okay. I'll circle back after my run and see how that goes. This is no naming or shaming, no shade on a specific designer, more just like a general thing. Okay. When you test a pattern, you get a draft of the pattern. Some designers give it to you as finished as possible, and then you're kind of like, you work through it. Some designers give it to you in not the same format they're going to publish it in. Like they give it to you more in a list recipe style without like photos or the boxes or the font that they're going to use. And that makes it hard to like test the user experience with it, because that's what you're testing. You're testing the overall pattern. You're not just searching for errors for them, because you're not really supposed to be. Being a pattern tester isn't searching for errors. That's what tech editors are doing. So when designers hand it to you as a list or just in like Calibri on a Google Doc and then never show you the finished item, I don't think getting the full pattern testing experience. As well as, side note, it's incredibly hard to test a pattern, at least for me, when there are no photos in it. That a recent test that I did had no photos in the pattern at all. So I was constantly going back and forth to look and see what the finished thing was, because it is a pattern test, so there were errors, and I couldn't tell if the errors were like errors, or it was just me not understanding the pattern, or it was supposed to look a certain way. So I think whenever possible, having pictures for your pattern testers embedded in the pattern is much more helpful, at least for me. And having it in the format that is intended for publish, that's helpful too, because isn't that the point? We're testing the entire pattern. We're not just searching for errors, and we're not just marketing. So I've seen this happen with a variety of designers. I mean, and this is where you're like, well, Gabs, if you don't like it, don't test for that. Exactly. I'm not anymore. So like and it's not that the designers aren't lovely people, and they don't have lovely designs, which is why I want to test for them in the first place. But sometimes people's processes aren't the processes that I want to do again, which is okay too. But that's my vent for the day about how pattern testing, like the format of the pattern when it's given to the testers. I try my best to do that. Sometimes I forget. I'm not perfect. Shaylee's not perfect. So we forget to do that too. But we do our very best to have at least one photo in our pattern if we can. If it's not ready, actually most of the time we do. In our patterns, we try and give them in the format that we're doing it. So if we've like hit a page break funny or typoed something or something could flow better, our testers can see it. Again, we're not perfect. I'm sure there have been mistakes. I'm sure there will be mistakes. But that's kind of my first vent of like, it'd be good if there were pictures in the patterns. It would be good if it was in its most finished form for pattern testers. Okay, I opened my advent calendar. First one is Holidays in Hell Creek by Emily, Fangirl Fibers, and Maggie of Yarnaceous Fibers. I'm excited, gonna work on that later. If you haven't already, check out my sister's. I'm calling it her Holly Jolly Vlogmas. That's not what it's called, but that's what I decided to name it. Her Holly Jolly Vlogmas. I will see you later. Super hard times. So Patricia is not in a good place. So I'm like, neat. So the pattern said that I should have that this clue was going to use 15 to 16 grams of yarn. And I weighed my skein just to make sure, and my mini skein was 20.6 grams of yarn. Somehow I've just finished this clue, and all I have left is this, like, what is this, maybe 12 inches of yarn left. So I used the full 20 gram skein, mini skein. So I'm a little concerned about the next clues. So I don't know what happened. Yeah, anyone else knit this and figure out, and did this happen to you? Is this a Gabs problem? I bet it's a gauge thing. I'll post in the Ravelry group and see what they say. So I played Yarn Chicken again tonight, but it wasn't really my fault because I really did listen to the pattern this time.
I'm laying on the floor doing my PT. I read day 2 of my advent calendar pattern, the MKAL pattern. It says that if if you almost run out of yarn, that you need to go down a needle size so that you don't run out of yarn for other days. But I'm at a US 1 already, and I cannot bear knitting an entire figure weight shawl on US 0s. So, as usual, I'm gonna risk it. And if I have to play Yarn Chicken on some days, well, I will be Yarn Chicken this through. But if I don't have enough yarn, I'll just pop in one of my other million minis I got, and I'll make it work. Because I cannot knit a shawl on US 0s. I also did try the weaving differently on my hand to hold the tension tighter, and it made my hand cramp. So maybe I'm doing it wrong, but yeah, I'm not. I'm already knitting a shawl on US 1s. I cannot face it on 0s. I knit mitts once on 000s because my gauge was horrible and it was a test knit and it was terrible. I can't face it. So, but see y'all tomorrow.